Did you know that only 2% of people after 70 can still do the habits that keep them strong, joyful, and fully alive? Not because these habits are extreme or physically demanding, but because most people forget how to live with intention as they age. They start accepting decline as something automatic, unpreventable, and unavoidable. They stop challenging themselves. They stop growing. They stop believing their choices still matter. But for a small, rare group, aging looks completely different. They move through life with a spark that refuses to burn out. Their bodies work in ways that surprise even their doctors. Their minds stay open, curious, and sharp. And their spirit? Unshakable. Today, we're diving into the 8 rare habits that only 2% of seniors over 70 can still manage. Habits that create strength, happiness, independence, emotional peace, and a sense of life that doesn't fade. Each one reveals something deeper about what aging can look like when lived with purpose. And by the end, you might realize that getting older isn't the enemy people make it out to be. It's the chance to finally live on your own terms. Let's begin. The first rare habit is one most people underestimate. Being able to lower yourself to the floor and rise again without using your hands or knees for support. It sounds simple until you try it. What makes this ability so extraordinary isn't just the physical strength behind it. It's the hidden message your body sends when it can still do it. It means your balance is intact. Your coordination is reliable. Your joints are mobile. Your core is engaged. And your muscles are connected like a well-trained team, even after decades of wear. Most people lose this without noticing. One day they stop stretching, another day they avoid bending. Then eventually they start relying on chairs and railings for almost every movement. But the 2% don't let that happen. They keep moving on purpose, even in the smallest ways. They sit on the floor to play with grandkids. They stretch while watching TV. They stand up without pushing on their thighs or bracing on the furniture. There's a woman named Lucia I once met in a coastal town. She was 79, walked with excellent posture, and could sit cross-legged on the sand and pop back up like she was in her 20s. When I asked how she maintained that, she shrugged and said, "I never stopped using my body the way I did when I was young. Everyone else stopped. I didn't." That's the core of this habit. Not the exercise itself, but the refusal to surrender your body to stiffness. Strength fades when ignored, but it stays loyal when honored. And as impressive as that ability is, the next habit is even rarer. Only 2% of people after 70 continue learning new things with the same energy they had in their younger years. Most people settle into familiar routines. They read the same kind of books, watch the same shows, do the same hobbies, and keep the same ideas they've had for decades. Their mental world shrinks even if their physical world doesn't. But the rare 2% challenge their minds every single day. They know curiosity is not a personality trait, it's a muscle. And when you stop using it, it weakens. But when you keep feeding it, your brain keeps building new connections. There's something special about seeing someone in their late 70s or 80s pick up a new instrument, learn a language, or dive into a new technology without fear. They don't care if they're slow at it. They don't care if others think it's silly. They care about the thrill of growth. I once met an 84-year-old man named Harris who learned digital painting after retirement. His kids teased him at first, thinking he wouldn't understand the software. But within months, he was creating vivid portraits with vibrant lighting and depth. He said it made him feel alive again, not because he mastered the skill, but because he realized his mind could still adapt, evolve, and stretch. And that's the real magic, not the skill itself, but what it proves. The brain doesn't age the way people think it does. It stagnates when neglected, but it flourishes when challenged. And that mental flexibility opens the door to the next rare habit, one of the most emotionally powerful traits of the 2%. Only a tiny portion of seniors can genuinely let go of old grudges. Most people carry emotional scars far longer than they carry anything physical. They hold on to unresolved arguments, lost friendships, and moments they replay again and again in their minds. They cling to old pain as if it protects them. But it doesn't. It drains them. It does more damage than they realize. The rare 2% understand something most people don't. Forgiveness isn't about making the other person feel better. It's about freeing yourself from carrying a weight that only slows you down. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past or excuse what happened. It doesn't require a reunion or a conversation. It simply means choosing not to let anger be a tenant in your heart anymore. There's a man named Kareem, aged 80, who told me he finally reached out to his childhood friend after nearly 40 years of silence caused by a misunderstanding neither of them could fully remember. When they met again, there was no dramatic apology, no long explanation, just two old men smiling at how foolish and unnecessary the distance had been. Peace, he said, doesn't come from being right. It comes from letting the hurt stop controlling you. That kind of emotional maturity is not just rare, it's transformative. And the surprising part? Once someone learns to let go emotionally, something else awakens inside them. The ability to be alone without feeling lonely. This habit is almost unheard of after 70. Many people experience fear when faced with silence or solitude. They rely heavily on others for emotional grounding. They need validation, attention, or constant company to feel alive. But the 2% understand the difference between solitude and loneliness. Loneliness is emptiness. Solitude is power. Seniors who master this habit find joy in simple moments with themselves. They can sit at a breakfast table alone and feel perfectly content. They can go for walks without needing conversation. They can enjoy quiet evenings without feeling forgotten. Their peace comes from within, not from who does or doesn't call them. There's a woman named Isabel, 76, who lost her husband after 51 years of marriage. For months, she felt lost. But one morning she woke up and realized she had a choice. Wait for someone to fill the silence or learn to fill it herself. She began painting, gardening, and exploring new places in her city. When someone once asked if she felt lonely, she replied, "I miss companionship, but I don't miss myself. I finally enjoy my own presence." That is a level of independence very few people ever achieve, and it opens the door to longevity. After mastering emotional peace and inner stability, the next rare habit becomes possible: moving through life with purpose and urgency. Only 2% of people over 70 still move with intention rather than habit or necessity. Most people slow down. They stop walking with confidence. They take smaller steps. They sit more, move less, and gradually, their world becomes smaller, not because it has to, but because they stop choosing motion. But the thriving 2% treat movement as life itself. They walk daily. They stretch their arms even when nobody is watching. They swivel their ankles, roll their shoulders, take the long way, stand a little taller. They treat motion as freedom, not a chore. They don't wait for mobility issues to appear, they stay ahead of them. There's something inspiring about seeing someone in their 70s or 80s out on a morning walk, smiling at strangers, listening to music, greeting the world with energy. These people don't move because they're strong. They're strong because they move. Their body may not be perfect, but it's responsive because they treat it with respect instead of resentment. And their relationship with food reflects this same respect. One of the rarest habits among the 2% is the ability to eat with intention and restraint. Most people fall into extremes as they age. Some eat carelessly, letting convenience shape their meals. Others limit themselves out of fear. But the rare group sees food as fuel, medicine, and balance, not emotional comfort or stress relief. They eat mindfully, not obsessively. They don't chase fad diets. They don't panic about every ingredient. They simply listen to their body. They stop eating when they're satisfied, not stuffed. They hydrate consistently. They choose foods that leave them feeling energized rather than sluggish. I once met a man named Lionel, 83, who cooked the same dinner every night: grilled vegetables, a small portion of lean protein, and a side of fruit. When asked why he never strayed from this simple formula, he said, "Because I want to wake up tomorrow feeling light, not heavy." That mindset alone puts him ahead of 98% of people his age. But beyond physical habits, there's a psychological shift that truly separates the 2%. They let go of what no longer matters. This isn't just about forgiveness, it's about emotional decluttering. Most seniors carry invisible baggage: regrets, missed opportunities, relationships that faded, dreams that never materialized. They hold on to the past because it's familiar. But the 2% understand that carrying emotional weight into their 70s, 80s, and 90s only steals joy from the time they have left. They stop trying to control how others see them. They stop expecting apologies. They stop replaying their mistakes. They stop trying to rewrite history. They don't deny their past. They simply stop being trapped by it. There's a woman named Gloria, 82, who told me something profound. I realized the past can't hurt me unless I keep inviting it into the present. That kind of acceptance brings peace to the mind, to the heart, and even to the body. And once they clear emotional space, something extraordinary grows in its place. The final habit of the 2%, a quiet belief that life still has meaning. This faith, religious or not, becomes their inner anchor. They wake with gratitude instead of fear. They see each day as a gift rather than a burden. They look at life with wonder instead of disappointment. This belief doesn't erase pain or hardship. It simply gives them the strength to rise above them. I once sat with a man named Mateo in a retirement community garden. At 86, he had survived illness, loss, financial hardship, and more. When I asked how he stayed so calm, he smiled and said, "I don't ask why anymore. I ask what this moment is here to teach me." That perspective is the heartbeat of the 2%. They don't crumble when life gets heavy. They don't fear change. They don't fear being alone. And surprisingly, they don't fear aging. They see it as another chapter in the story, maybe even their most honest one. When you step back and look at all 8 habits together, you realize something powerful. The 2% aren't extraordinary because of genetics or luck. They're extraordinary because of small decisions made consistently, decisions most people aren't willing to make. They keep moving. They stay curious. They release anger. They find peace. They listen to their bodies. They trust life even when it feels uncertain. And that's what makes them stronger, calmer, and more radiant than people half their age. If you recognize even one of these habits in yourself, nurture it. And if you don't, remember it's never too late to start. You don't need to transform overnight. Just take one small step today. Stand a little taller, learn a new skill, forgive someone silently, enjoy your own company, or choose a meal that honors your body. Growth doesn't stop because you reach a certain age. Growth stops the moment you believe you're done. And if you're here right now, watching this, it means you still have that desire to grow. That alone puts you closer to the 2% than you think. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Share one habit you want to start working on. Your comment may inspire someone who needs it. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who deserves to feel hopeful about aging. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.